What's going on, everyone? Charlie here. We're going to talk about AMC for a second. Now, I'm sure that you're all aware of the recent run that we've had. Now, this is in part due to Goldman Sachs dumping their put positions, I would imagine. It has something to do with it. And the anticipated earnings for next quarter are expected to be very good as opposed to what we just saw. Box office numbers are through the roof. I believe Lilo and Stitch just hit another record over the weekend. So, a lot of good things moving for AMC. What I wanted to talk about in this one is the short settlement window. Now, this has implications market wide, but AMC as well, very relevant here with tickers that have a decent amount of short interest, which as of today, AMC does. It's starting to get relevant. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. First, what is the settlement window? Now, many of you may not know about what this is, but essentially, FINRA requires firms to report short interest positions in all customer and proprietary accounts in all equity securities twice per month. So this is one of those things in the market that you can guarantee will happen because, again, it happens twice per month, at the middle of the month and at the end of each month. All short interest positions must be reported by 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the second business day after the reporting settlement date designated by FINRA. Now on the right here you can see the calendar. As you can see, usually starts around the 15th, 14th, somewhere around there, or the 30th or the 31st, and then the due date is the next calendar date that you see here. So you have three columns. You have a settlement date, you have a due date, and then you have a publication date. The settlement date is the 15th for January, so that means the due date for that reporting period was the 17th at 6 p.m. In other words, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the second business day after the reporting settlement date. So this is the case for each instance here. You have a 2-day window between the settlement date and the due date. So the next one coming up is actually tomorrow, May 30th, and the due date is going to be June 3rd by 6 p.m. And then the publication date, or in other words, the date at which they update the numbers for short interest, will come out on June 10th. Now, what are the implications for this? Well, again, this is the nearest one coming up is tomorrow, May 30th. And then this is the due date, June 3rd, 6 p.m. And then we have a publication date of June 10th. If we look at historic short settlement dates, you can kind of get a pattern here. So the settlement date is the green line, the due date is the blue line, and the publication date is the purple line. So you can see here how on the due date, on the settlement reporting date, we saw a nice bounce. Then we had a blue line here, which is the due date, show another slight increase, closed red that day though. And then by the time we got to the reporting date, we were all the way up above $4. The one before that, same kind of thing. We have a little bit of an uptrend, and it's kind of hit or miss. A lot of these, majority of them, will result in an uptrend. And the ones to pay attention to is the green line and the blue line. Typically speaking, on these two dates, more times than not, we have green days. So just wanted to point that out. It is a very relevant factor in the markets that a lot of people overlook, but I would definitely pay attention to settlement windows when it comes to AMC. It may help you get a better idea of, price targets and things like that, especially surrounding the options. So now, as far as the short interest itself, right now we're sitting at a very high amount, relatively speaking, comparatively speaking to last year at this time. We're right around where we were, but we are higher, and we're much lower in price. Now, as far as the financials, the forecast for EPS is damn near even for the upcoming quarterly earnings. Now, for the next yearly earnings, we may see a turn profit. We have to wait and see on that one, but definitely have been coming a long way and been treading in the right direction since COVID. So all of the fudsters out there, don't listen to them. AMC is a great investment at these prices, even at the current price. It's just a matter of time, and as long as they keep moving in the right direction, I don't see a bear case for this stock, especially when you take into consideration the latest news from HYMC and their 40-year historic find for the minerals that they are harvesting over there. So good news all around. upcoming earnings expected to kill it. So let's see if we turn a positive EPS.